Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of New England Sports Legends. This week we're coming to you from Phil Castanetti's Sports World in Saugus, Route 1 in Saugus. This place is unbelievable, but more, I'm not talking about Saugus, I'm talking about Phil Castanetti's. I mean, Saugus might be unbelievable too, but I can't speak to that. I can speak to Phil Castanetti's Sports World, and I can speak to Alice Cook, which I'm going to do right now because she is our sports legend this week. And when I called her up, she said, she's flattered to be called a legend.
A legend.
Really?
I've never been called a legend.
Does that make you feel?
That.
Does that make you feel old?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a good kind of old.
You never looked old. You always have been. You always had that wonderful smile. And
thank you. We go back so far, back to 1982 or.
I thought about that, and I remember where we met. It was in Channel 38.
Yes, it was my first job in television. Yep.
As what?
I started in the traffic department, not TV or car traffic, but the commercial continuity.
Yeah.
And then I was a producer, associate producer of sports, which basically meant I organized the tape library. So I was very green, very new to television, and you came in and we judged the Emmys.
Yeah. This is the way they judge those Emmys. They send them to another market. I don't even know what market we judged.
It was San Francisco.
Really?
Yep.
I have no clue. Anyway, Alice, they asked her to do this, and Channel 4 asked me to do it, so that's where we met at Channel 38,
right.
doing
and
the judging.
You said, we have a producer job open in our sports department. And I said, I don't know if I'm qualified for that. Oh, come on, give it a try. And one thing led to another.
What can I tell you? Qualifications come in many paths.
Yeah.
She was great. She's been great in television, and there have been some events. I almost don't know where to start, but I'm going to start at my favorite was the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
I knew you were going to say that.
Why?
Because it was just so special. For one, the way they got there, and that year with the snow game, and how that game ended in New Orleans, and where we were when it ended.
Well, go ahead. You're doing fine.
Well, what a lot of people don't understand when you're covering these huge sporting events, you have to go downstairs in the bowels of these stadiums and line up minutes before. Sometimes it's 15 minutes before the final whistle or bell or whatever. And we were in this line in watching TV monitors.
Like a cattle call.
Like a cattle call. We were,
out of the stadium. We could
100 people deep in this line.
We could not see live game. That's the way to cover the Super Bowl. Can't watch it live.
Right. So plus there's a little of a delay. So we're hearing what's happening out in the stadium, but we're seeing it a few seconds later.
So when we heard it, we didn't know if he missed the field goal or made the field goal.
Exactly. It's like, what happened? What just happened? And of course, he made the field goal, and the rest was history.
People want to know, how come you need all those people at the Super Bowl? Why did they send you? Why did they send Lobel? Why did they send Steve Burton? Why did they send all these people? But
we were on TV 24/7.
Yeah.
You were especially. Bob did the morning show, the noon show,
Grim.
The 5 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, and the 11 p.m.
Indispensable. He must have been some talent.
Every day for a week.
Because nobody else would do it. They were all sleeping.
Plus specials. Oh, I forgot the special. We had a special every night.
Yeah, well, they had to make some money to pay for our trip.
Yeah, I guess.
However, after the Patriots won in dramatic fashion, they were 14-point underdogs. After they won, none of us wanted to leave because of the intense security after 9/11, right?
Right.
It took you 3 hours to get in almost. And it wasn't worth it to leave and then try to come back. So after the game, Alice is doing all her editing, and well, we should talk about the live shots on the field because it was a
here we go.
Belichick moment.
Infamous moment.
See, these are things this is cool.
Okay, you want me to tell the story?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so Bob is there with Steve, and Bob and Steve are anchoring our post-game coverage, and I'm running around doing interviews and trying to pull players over for our live post-game show. And so I'm doing that, and the players are coming over, and I went to get Coach Bill Belichick.
Hard to believe
Can you come over? And he said, well, who's doing the interview? I said, well, Bob's there and Steve's there and I'll be there. He says, well, if you're involved, that'd be good.
What do you mean?
So,
He was going to bag it if you weren't there?
He just wanted to know who was doing the interviewing. So when I went over, I brought the coach over, and Bob said, oh, well, now we have Bill Belichick. And
hard to believe. Right.
and
did I take it away from you?
You kind of took it away from me, and I said,
sorry.
wait a minute, Bob.
I felt badly about that.
He wants to talk to me.
He did say that on television.
And it was just kind of a...
Did you talk to him?
Yes.
You did.
I stayed there, and I asked a few questions,
good.
And then you took over.
Oh,
but it was
I
didn't think it was a big deal. We were kind of laughing about it. He wants to, he wants to talk to me, because I had been there all season, and I think he was really trying to get me involved. It's like, let's let Alice have her
stupid Bob. I'm really, I apologize. Yeah, now here it is. 30 years later, I apologize.
So I do the little interview. I go off to do the rest of my interviews and put my package together for the next day, and we find out it caused this huge storm over talk radio the next day about, did you see Alice Cook dissing Bob Lobel? And
I did. They were on my side.
Director Peter Brown called me and said, "We're getting calls. Is Alice Cook going to get fired?" And we're at the Cleveland airport flying back. I'm going to get fired over that.
I don't remember any. I remember the moment, but I don't remember any. Stuff like bad stuff.
That's because you hadn't slept in about 4 days. You actually, Bob, that night when I was editing the piece.
Yeah, in their satellite truck.
In our satellite truck.
Inside the stadium.
Inside the stadium, because you didn't want to leave because it was too hard to get in and out because of security.
Right.
Was flat out on the floor in the truck.
It's very
sleepy, because that was the only sleep he was going to get.
It's a very romantic type job when you can sleep on the floor, which is harder than this floor. No pillow, no nothing, just
nothing.
Curl up and sleep.
And it's like I'm there with the editor, and we're in these rolling chairs.
Hey, can you keep it down, Alice? I'm trying to sleep.
And so the chair would roll back. It's like, be careful, don't run over Lobel. He has to be on TV in a couple hours.
Oh, my God.
Great. That was a great time.
It was a great time, and I can remember, I remember uttering these words, like, can you believe we won the effing Super Bowl? It was like unbelievable, because it was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. I heard Bill Belichick, when I went over there to get him, he was talking to someone. He said the same thing. Can you believe we won the Super Bowl with this team? Yeah, really, he said that. Maybe not in those words, but it was like, can you believe? I think he was talking to someone he knew from ESPN, but it was just like no one gave them a chance.
No.
Now we have to talk, too, about what you did on Sports Final after the snow game. Speaking of Adam Vinatieri.
Oh, it was one of my favorite shows because we did stuff. We had props. I love props.
We reenacted the kick.
The snow kick.
The snow kick.
Because, fortunately, we had a center, a long snapper in Steve Diassi. We had a holder in Scott Zolak. A real center, real holder. And we had the kicker in Vinatieri.
But we're doing this in a TV studio with lights and it's not where you kick a football.
Normally,
You brought in snow.
We put it was a towel or blanket or sheet.
Oh, okay.
It was a sheet or something.
Real snow.
No, it was like a white sheet.
Yeah.
We put it down. A very stupid thing on our part because the guy could have gotten hurt. That was my biggest fear. Vinatieri would try the kick. He'd fall.
And this was before the Super Bowl. He could have been injured.
It wasn't too long ago the best place for fact-finding was the library. The route from here to there was a trusty glove compartment map, and the best way to get a new automobile was to ask your neighbors about theirs. Now you just Google it. At Banks, it's no different. Google us and you'll find that we are in fact New England's highest volume GM dealer. And you'll also find some of the most positive reviews in cyberspace. But if you prefer doing things the old-fashioned way, talking to the neighbor with the Bank sticker on their car still works as well as it ever did. Banks Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC, Concord, New Hampshire.
Campers, have high expectations when you are shopping for a new or used RV. At Cold Springs, you can freely browse hundreds of campers that are unlocked so you can comfortably take your time and shop. Come see the nation's most popular brands: Primetime, Sanibel, Crusader, Tracer, and LaCrosse. Newly added this year are Flagstaff, Surveyor, and R-Pod. At Cold Springs RV, we are big enough to give you the best price. Have high expectations when shopping for a new or used RV. Cold Springs RV, Route 114 in Ware, New Hampshire. ColdSpringsRV.com.
You don't know how hair loss feels until it happens to you. If you're struggling with hair loss, there is hope. With the amazing solutions at Hair Club, you can go from this to this.
That was the old me, and now I feel great.
Hair Club is a trusted authority on proven hair loss solutions. So call to speak with our hair loss experts to discover the solution that's right for you.
I absolutely love my hair.
I felt that it was going to be good. I just didn't know it was going to be that good.
And Hair Club's proven and tested solutions are backed by our 100% commitment to satisfaction guarantee. For details and conditions, call or go online.
If you're not happy with the way you look, call Hair Club. It might be the best call you'll ever make.
Call within the next 5 minutes to receive your free information kit and reserve your free diagnostic analysis, which will help us determine which solution is right for you. And if you act now, you'll receive $250 off any hair loss solution. Hair Club, old proven hair loss solutions. Call or go online now.
Now, you've had a lot of interesting moments with that football team, both good.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, of course you do, both good and bad. So we talked about the good ones, and that was a special night for all of us. The winning the Super Bowl.
It was the best one.
It was the best. I'd have to say, because it started. Everything after that was okay. We won another one. Blah, blah,
And another one.
And another one.
And another one. Yeah.
And even the Red Sox didn't pale by comparison in some ways.
You're right.
Okay, good part, bad part. Maybe you just ought to set up the bad part.
Okay, well, I started, as you
It's good
know,
storytellers. You got a lot of stories.
It
Good.
was back in the 80s, and there weren't a lot of women. There were actually, in Boston, there were no female television sports reporter. There were a few writers.
It was you.
But it was me, and I was the
Pioneer? Do you think you're a pioneer?
Well, yeah, because I was the first one to come in with a TV camera instead of a notebook, and a TV camera is just different because you are videotaping people. The privacy thing is it's different when you have a camera, and it was I went from producer at Channel 4, and then I became a reporter producer, and I was very green even in the producing role, but you and producer Alan Miller really believed in me and sent me into locker rooms, and lo and behold, I did become a reporter, but I was the only female for
so we weren't.
a number
And
of
it's not
years.
that we weren't stupid. We know that the players were going to, talk to you before they want to talk to us. It's just the way
that was true in some
players
cases, but
are.
there were players that did not like it.
Okay.
There were managers that were uncomfortable with it, and there were people that colleagues worked with that didn't like it, and so I had to not only worry about as the lone television female sports reporter going in and knowing what I was going to ask and sounding smart and being professional, but I had this whole other pressure.
Of course, the pressure was, we said, if you don't come up with anything, you're fired.
Well,
Not really, no.
Well, no, it was more like, for me, I felt like if I wasn't really, really, really good,
Had to
or
be.
if I made a mistake, I would just be the stupid girl.
You had to be better than they were.
Yeah. So it was, the incident with the Patriots was a Friday. It was not a big day for media in Foxborough. There were only this is when, who covered the team in like 1980, I think it was 5?
Whatever.
Maybe 6, I don't know, right along those times. So, it's not the media horde that you see down there now. So it was just me and a scattering of writers. And Alan Miller, our producer, sent me down to talk to a couple players who had played for Ron Meyer when he was here. Just get his, because he was coming in with the Colts, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So just talk to Steve
I don't
Nelson
know.
and Pete
I have no
Brock
idea.
and those guys about, how they feel about, their former coach coming in. So it was a situation where I had to stand there and wait because they were in the shower area. And it's awkward because the players are coming out in various, stages of dress.
Towel, no towel.
And I'm standing there with our photog, Tom Raycamp, and I start hearing like, hey, you bleep, bleep. And
Really?
just at first, I didn't realize what was happening. And then I looked at Tom Raycamp. He said, oh, my God. And then I could hear what they were saying. Women are only good for this and that. I wish I could say it on television, but it's too crude.
There's no reason.
And, get
Let
out
Donald
of
Trump
get out of
handle
my
that.
house, you blank. And I remember I had a piece of paper. I was reading a news release, and I started doing it's like, oh, my God. And I remember looking over way in the corner is Doug Flutie. He was on because it was right after the walkout.
Yeah. The strike.
The lockout.
Yeah, lockout.
And I knew Doug, from, BC. I covered him through the years, and he just looked at me like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to you. I just remember his face, but he wasn't really in a position to start a fist fight with these two players. It was two players.
Do you know who? You want to name them?
Yeah, it was Stephen Starring and Stanley Morgan.
Okay. Wow.
And at that point, I really didn't know who it was. I just heard what I heard. So I got through the interviews. Nellie came out, and my hand was shaking holding the microphone, and they had heard it. And you could tell they really
bad enough to have to do your job yet.
Felt bad for me.
Yeah.
And so I got through the 3 or 4 questions with the couple players, got out of there, and then I just totally broke down. I was like hysterically crying. It's like I called Alan at the station. It's like, this is horrible. I just feel sick to my stomach. I want to quit. And he said, this is a huge story. We want to put this on TV. We want to, you get back to the station, we're going to put you on camera. And I said, no, that's going to make it worse. And thank God I thought that way, because as we know, several years later, when Lisa Olson went through a similar situation, and they went really public with it, the Herald, it really hurt her career here in Boston. Yeah. Because people took something out on her was totally wrong, but that attention that it drew to her just made it so much harder for her.
I would only say in defense of Alan Miller, he also was a great producer, and he also knew would make good television. Yes. And you would make good television if we got into that emotional moment.
But I'm still very happy that I didn't. So that was a Friday, so Saturday, I'm, at my apartment, and the phone rings pretty early in the morning, and we didn't have caller ID then, and I pick it up. Hello, this is Patrick Sullivan, so the Patriots at the time GM, and he said, I heard what happened yesterday. I apologize for the team. I am so sorry. Those players will be, reprimanded. And, at this point, I didn't know how a fine was going to work. I said, oh, thanks for calling. 5 minutes later, Raymond Barry called me. Hi, Alice. How y'all doing?
He was good, wasn't he?
He was so sweet. He said, I'm just so sorry. The whole thing's like, he says, they shouldn't have treated you that way. But, and if that would have happened like 15, 20 years later, that would have been like, fine. Just think it would have gone to Goodell.
Totally. Right.
It would have been ruled on. And so it was like, I appreciated that. And then the next day I was in Foxborough. The next time I was in Foxborough was the following Wednesday. And that's when they practiced in Rentham, and they were all in the field, and they actually let the media on the field during practice. It was the weirdest situation. Now you get 5 minutes at practice and you're kicked out. So the practice ended, and the team got in the big group huddle in the middle of the field, and they all turned around and they said, "We're sorry, Alice." And then they said, "Stephen's sorry, Alice." Stanley, they said their names. And I regret that someone didn't pick up a camera and get that on tape.
Oh, so you would have wanted that on television.
I would have wanted that on television.
Yeah, it is too bad,
sure.
But still.
But unfortunately, I never received an apology, a personal apology from either of the players. And it was pretty terrifying. Yeah. And it kind of typified a lot of feelings and emotions I felt going forward. It was really, I got nervous going into the locker room. I compare it to, like, people say,
I think you didn't know what you were going to see. You didn't know what you were going to
skating in the Olympics. I swear to God, I got more nervous than that.
How stupid of me not to mention that you were an Olympic figure skater in 1976.
Yeah.
It wasn't too long ago the best place for fact-finding was the library. The route from here to there was a trusty glove compartment map, and the best way to get a new automobile was to ask your neighbors about theirs. Now you just Google it. At Banks, it's no different. Google us and you'll find that we are in fact New England's highest volume GM dealer. And you'll also find some of the most positive reviews in cyberspace. But if you prefer doing things the old-fashioned way, talking to the neighbor with the bank sticker on their car still works as well as it ever did. Banks Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC, Concord, New Hampshire.
Campers, have high expectations when you are shopping for a new or used RV. At Cold Springs, you can freely browse hundreds of campers that are unlocked, so you can comfortably take your time and shop. Come see the nation's most popular brands: Primetime, Sanibel, Crusader, Tracer, and Lacrosse. Newly added this year are Flagstaff, Surveyor, and R-Pod. At Cold Springs RV, we are big enough to give you the best price. Have high expectations when shopping for a new or used RV. Cold Springs RV, Route 114 in Ware, New Hampshire. ColdSpringsRV.com.
You don't know how hair loss feels? until it happens to you.
If you're struggling with hair loss, there is hope. With the amazing solutions at Hair Club, you can go from this to this.
That was the old me, and now I feel great.
Hair Club is a trusted authority on proven hair loss solutions. So call to speak with our hair loss experts to discover the solution that's right for you.
I absolutely love my hair.
I felt that it was going to be good. I just didn't know it was going to be that good.
And Hair Club's proven and tested solutions are backed by our 100% commitment to satisfaction guarantee. For details and conditions, call or go online.
If you're not happy with the way you look, call Hair Club. It might be the best call you'll ever make.
Call within the next 5 minutes to receive your free information kit and reserve your free diagnostic analysis, which will help us determine which solution is right for you. And if you act now, you'll receive $250 off any hair loss solution. Hair Club, old proven hair loss solutions. Call or go online now.
Fast forward to 1994.
Yeah.
Because I remember my kids. I had a 2-year-old and an infant, and the whack on the knee happened in Detroit. It was a Friday.
I know.
And they said we started hearing the reports. I'm making calls, and people are there. Then we see the video. Why me? Why me? The news director again, Peter Brown. He's like, we got to get to Detroit. Alice, can you jump on a plane? I said, I've got two babies at home.
That was a big mistake you made. You did me no favors on that one.
So they said,
I would have, I would have gone to your house and took care of your kids. But no,
So
I wasn't given the option of going to your house and taking care of your kids.
I got payback later because I ended up going to Norway to cover the Olympics.
That wasn't it wasn't enough payback.
So anyway, basically, Bob went to Detroit and was stuck in a snowbank for 2 days. He was outside the arena. Was it Joe Louis Arena then?
I don't know.
In a blinding snowstorm. It was like that movie, Broadcast News, where the woman's like up covering the story in like the Antarctica.
You know what? You got to understand. I knew nothing of the sport.
And
nothing.
I would sit there, at the station watching. He's like, "Oh, poor Bob." And then it wasn't just for Channel 4. You were the guy that had to do reports for we were NBC then, every NBC affiliate in the country. So basically,
you gotta understand.
Watch him on the monitor. He was standing there for 20 hours.
I had no idea what I was talking about, which it would have been different if I had a little idea of what I was talking about. And then, of course, these anchors, their names would all change because of different markets, and then the producers would say, "Okay, Bob, you're going to be talking to Sally and Bill." All right.
In, Des Moines.
Right. And they'd ask me some question and I had no idea what the answer was. So you just...
No, you did fine. You
say that, but I should have gone to your house and you should have gone to Detroit, but that was another situation.
Well, then,
so we've had those moments along.
Then again, I went to Norway to cover.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We were the wrong affiliate. It was CBS then, and we were NBC, so we had no access at all. And I told our news director, he said, "You're going to go to Lillehammer," and I said, "We're not going to be able to get in anywhere. I mean, how am I going to do anything?"
Right.
And he said, "I don't care. Just stand in a snowbank and talk." We call them Revlons. In TV, it's like just show you're there.
I don't think any guys call them Revlons.
Okay, I think it was a Revlon. It's just like you're doing a live shot to show that you're there. But I ended up going with a friend of mine from the skating world, a coach that knew a lot of people, and we did all these backdoor. Remember, we caught Nancy coming out of a building.
I wasn't. No, I was sitting on the desk, right?
Oh, during the long program, and then I had a cell phone. Back then, this was the beginning of cell phones too, and they were expensive. I didn't have our channel's cell phone. NBC London let me use their cell phone because I was getting all these stories. So I called in during the women's long program, and I'm just, I was just going to tell the booth, Tanya's having a problem with her skate, and, she got off the ice, and they put me on live TV, which was like really probably way against the rules of Olympic rights.
Who cares?
But I remember someone coming in my ear saying, "I don't know if this is legal or not, but just keep talking." Right. And that was fun. So I was kind of given the play-by-play. It's like, Tanya went over to the officials.
Did you met Tanya? Have you met Tanya?
Yes.
Did you talk to Tanya?
Yes.
And what was your opinion?
She was
trailer park.
Tough kid.
Yeah.
Tough kid.
Tough kid.
But so Nancy Kerrigan was a tough kid.
Yeah, I guess you have to be a tough
Yep.
kid to. I wish I could remember the name of that skater I was thinking about. Okay,
Nada.
so then you stuck Nancy on the phone with me. I was on the set.
Right.
Remember?
Yes, that was after the long, where she ended up in
I'm
silver
sitting
medal.
at the desk, live, and Alice
talk to Nancy.
Alice is live, and Alice is here. Talk to Nancy. What? What was I going to ask her?
Well, you said
I said you talk to
congratulations on
Nancy.
your silver.
Yes, it was. I don't know. It was just
That was fun.
the things you have to be prepared for. You did a great job. I really enjoyed those days. You know,
It was good.
I loved working with you. You
It
were
was fun.
you were not only a pioneer, but forget the producer. You were a terrific producer, and you were a terrific live shot. One of the best live shot people I've ever had a chance to work with. And I think you just, you felt it. You were literally a live shot, and you put yourself into it. So, I have to defend you as a legend. No, I don't have to defend you at all as a legend because you were,
Thank
and
you.
you were
It's
very.
It's nice to be recognized that way. It's
You're a very
means
great
lot
part
to
of
me.
my career. What?
It means a lot to me.
It should mean a lot
Yeah.
to you, man. Yeah, you're a huge factor in my career, for good or for bad. But
Well,
you know
I
what?
owe a lot to Bob Lobel because
That's why we
that
brought you
day
here,
at
so you
Channel
could say that.
38, he got me in the
That's
door.
why we brought you here, so you could say that. If you'd have said it at the beginning of the show, we'd have
I owe it
cut it
all
off.
to this guy.
Yeah, I don't think so. You made us so much better as a news team. We were proud of everybody.
Do you
And
have
then
one
of course,
more story? I have one more story.
Okay, go ahead.
How about when my the intern faked you out when I was really pregnant? I was ready to give birth.
okay.
You were doing the 11.
Now hold on a second. I was going to do the Bird Williams Orr thing, but go ahead. No, tell me. Do this story. This is a much better
Well,
story.
I think it was the second. I had like 3 kids in 4 years, so it's like a churning thing in the
What
90s.
was wrong with you?
And I was producing the 11 o'clock
Really?
news one night,
You were
and
just
we had an
busy enough?
intern, and I forget his name. This is like, now I can't remember a name. But he said, let's play a joke on Bob. Because I was due like any time. I think it was like, any day. It was the second one. I was due in end of January. He says, I'm going to spill water all over his floor in his in his office. And when he comes in, because you would come in after you
You
went home for
think
dinner
it
or
wasn't tough enough
something.
to...
And he says, and I'm going to tell him your water broke.
Oh, God.
So I just hid in another room, and you came in, and I could hear him say, Alice, they had to take her by ambulance to the hospital. Her water broke in your office. And you're saying, oh my God, who's going to produce the show?
Well, I had my priorities straight. You take care of the baby. I got to worry about the show.
Yeah, it was so funny. It was like 3 oh my gods, I can't believe this. Is she okay? Who's going to produce the show? What are we going to do? And then I came out from around the corner. It's like, ha ha. It was fun.
Yeah, fun for them, bad for Bob. But I'm not even going to get into Williams, Bird, and Orr.
That was a huge night.
It was a huge night. There were people in that studio that said they were from WBZ we never saw before or after.
Right.
I don't know how they did. Hey, thanks for coming in. I know
You're
that.
so welcome.
I know Phil Castanetti appreciates it. This story is great.
Yeah, it is great.
And you were great. We had some great moments. So for Alice Cook, our legend of the week.